I'd like to thank Abdur-Rahim Briggs and the board of directors from the Briggs Project for selecting me for this month's newsletter. They want me to answer some questions, so let's see. Here goes. They want me to tell us about yourself. Okay. My name is Tammy, Peay. I'm a mother. I'm a comedian. I'm an actress. I'm an activist. I'm self-employed. And I'm from New York City. And I'm same gender loving. Is that enough? I think that's enough. Okay, tell us some things about projects or things that you're involved in. Okay, some of the projects that I'm involved in, I'm on the board of directors for a nonprofit organization called My Brother's House. It's an organization where they help to house homeless veterans and to find them counseling and much needed services to get them up and running and back in the community. I'm also working on a one-woman show now, and I am on several little web series. One is that I'm proud of is Triangle by Caesar Will. I play the mother of a transgender youth, and it's been really, really fun. As a matter of fact, I have makeup on now because I just shot a scene today. And I was supposed to be just a one-time person on the show, just a one-time guest, but then I ended up getting reoccurring scenes. So that's been exciting. And I'm currently working on my travel with Zen Biz Travel. And that's about it for now. And just doing my comedy shows throughout the city and at colleges and just trying to live my best life. Okay. Number 3. What is it that I like being about self-employed and loving it? Well, what I like about my business and being self-employed is, as a contractor, you do what you want to do. You work the days you feel like working. You make as much money as you want to make. My schedule's pretty open. That way I'm free to, do shows and bookings and things of that nature. But I just love the fact that nobody is my boss. And I love the fact that when I go to work, I work alone. I don't have to deal with too much staff and people and things of that nature. And it's the freedom that I love more so than anything, because I've worked the civil service jobs, I've worked the corporate jobs, and I just didn't like all the bureaucratic bullcrap that came with it. This gave me the freedom to be creative, to listen to my own thoughts as I work throughout the day, not to be overstimulated with everybody's office crap. And it gave me freedom to work on several other projects and to do my advocacy work and things of that nature. So that's what I love about being self-employed. Okay. How long have you been out, and who was the hardest person to tell? Well, my coming out was pretty young. I was a teenager when people first found out. I didn't have a chance to tell anyone because the church folks, honey, they did me dirty. My mom's friend saw me with a girl who she thought the girl looked gay, and she, went and told everybody. So they started rebuking me from young. It was traumatizing, to say the least, because I really didn't know I was outed until my brother was like, they know, because my brother always hid stuff from me and things like that. But I think the hardest person for me to tell was my dad, because I didn't want to disappoint him. I always wanted him to see me a certain way, or to try to be not perfect, but as close to perfect as I possibly could, just to make him happy. And I felt that being gay or being same gender loving wasn't the way to do that. So that was a bit, hard for me. But once I told him, he was like, oh, I already knew that. Like it was nothing. And then it was just, life is, normal. They just kept rebuking me. Okay. They said, what was the upcoming Trump administration? Okay. With the upcoming Trump administration, what do you feel will be the extent of the anti-LGBT attitudes down the road? Okay, I have messages coming across too at the same time. Okay, what do I think would be the extent of the anti-LGBT attitudes down the road? I think if we're not careful and if we don't take a serious look at this administration and we don't take them seriously, I think a lot of lives are going to be lost. I think they're going to use legislation and different laws and things like that to exclude people from a seat at the table. And when I say a seat at the table, I'm talking adequate housing, I'm talking jobs, I'm talking housing, employment, medical, oh my God, medical, and the right to a fair trial. I think that with all because Donald Trump keeps talking about the stock market jumping and things of that nature. Most of the stocks were in private things like Corecraft and prison stocks and privatized prison stocks and things like that had done the big increase, because people know that when you have racists in charge, that a lot of people of color are going to go to jail. So with that, I'm seeing criminalization of LGBT people. I'm seeing people going to jail for going to the bathrooms. I'm a person myself who people seem to think I'm transgender. And I know if I walk in the bathroom, sometimes people recognize my face. I'm like, are they going to club me in the head and take me to jail? Because this is a thing that the girls are going through. The girls are getting thrown out of bathrooms. They're getting arrested. And I just think that if we're not careful, history will repeat itself. This Pence guy believes in shock therapy. I don't know about you guys, but I'm highly allergic to high voltage of electricity and high volts and shit. I don't know what we're going to do, but I think that if we're not careful, we will repeat history. History, what you don't be careful about, you're doomed to repeat. And I think that the LGBT community, we need to be on it. We need to be on it. We need to be making these calls and writing these letters and letting people know that we will not go back into the closet. We will not go back into your mental institutions, and you're not going to give me a lobotomy and give me medication because you don't understand the way I choose to love. But I think that this administration is the most extreme, right-wing administration we've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm not that old. I'm not like 70 years old, nothing, but I do know that I've lived through a few administrations and I've never seen anything like this. I'm not saying that there hasn't been racism or discrimination or bigotry, but it has never been so blatant and in your face. I think that Reagan was a very racist president, but, he masked it in the war on drugs. I think that, Clinton had his racial shit with him, but he masked it in his super predators and mass incarceration shit that he and his wife had done. But I still believe that Hillary would have been the best candidate for the country as opposed to a Donald Trump. I think in hiding his dealings with Russia, I think that he'll do anything. I don't know what Russia has on this man, but I do believe that after the Mexicans will come the Muslims, and then the trans people, and then the LGBT people, and then the blacks. I do believe that LGBT people, if we're not careful, that our community will suffer. And we can't afford to go backwards. We really can't afford to go backwards. And I think that we deserve more than just the right to get married. I think that we deserve a right to be safe, for a country where people protect our rights, where we don't have to fear for, our lives and getting killed and things of that nature. So we have a lot to be